Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it's great to see you all here today. We have a lot going on. This is, in fact, one of the I've got too many computers going in the background, but we've got a lot going on. This is something I've been excited to do. It's actually very timely because I have a client who is in the publishing business and is looking to get more exposure for his products and everything else. And I would consider the king of Kindle with me here today, who's going to show you a ton of very powerful ways that you can basically partner with the powerhouse, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, Amazon, and have them literally transform everything you do online. So without further ado, I'm just going to pick up the mic. I'm going to drop it right next to this gentleman. Ty, are you there, sir?
I am here. I'm ready. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear what I'm going to say.
I like that. I like that. That's a line I'm going to have to use in future broadcasts. I love that. That's wonderful. That needs to be on a T-shirt. That's brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to literally let you take it away. Show us what you're working on. Show us what you've been doing, because we've been connected for years, and you have been absolutely kicking ass to the tune of like $50,000 a month with what you're doing, and I want you to kind of go through this and show us what you're working on.
Absolutely, and it does seem like we've known each other forever, especially in the internet marketing space, right?
Absolutely.
So I want to make sure that everyone can see my screen. So right now you should see a series of questions in front of you. So if you can see these questions, give me a big yes. And we'll start with the first question, right? So the first question is, have you ever published a Kindle book before? So have you ever published a Kindle book before? Give me a yes or a no.
My hand's up.
Okay, awesome. We've got Sean's hand up. We've got Thomas saying no, Bernard saying yes. We've got Douglas with the no. Esther, no. Gary, no. Yes, says Nobby. I hope I didn't screw that up there. So we've got pretty much it's across the board, yes and no. So fact or fiction. So for those of you that have published a Kindle book before, right? Was it fact or fiction? Again, and this will help me to tailor this presentation for you a bit more as well.
That's interesting because, yeah, for me it's been fact all the way. Everything
Nice.
Based on what I do in business, which is interesting. I'm curious to see what everyone else is doing now.
Gotcha. And I do a little bit of both as well. I do probably about it's about 40-60, fact versus fiction. So we've got fact, fiction. Wow, 50% here so far. So it's the same thing here. So about 50% from both sides. What genre? I publish a lot of personal development, some business titles as well, romance. My daughter, who started when she was 13, publishes a lot of mystery thriller novels. She's 19 now, paying for her own college, way through college, through Kindle Publishing.
That's nice.
Absolutely, especially when it's not coming out of my checkbook.
Absolutely.
We went to go look for cars yesterday, so Kindle.
I saw that post on Facebook. Is it the Rolls Royce?
She wishes it was the Rolls Royce. Now, did you notice how she had the big smile when she was standing next to the Rolls Royce, right? But body language changes when she's next to the Scion.
Exactly.
The beautiful thing about this is, right, so if she decides to get the Scion, right, guess who pays for this thing? It's the Kindle publishing efforts that she's put in, and we'll talk about that as we continue on. So now, if you do have titles that are published on Amazon, did you write them yourself or did you outsource them? Did you write them yourself or did you outsource them? And I'll be honest with you, my first 3 titles I wrote myself. Everything else I've outsourced, and I'm going to show you. Now, the beautiful thing about the system that I'm going to share with you is it doesn't matter if you're a writer. Like my wife, she writes her own titles and publishes those. Or if you like to outsource, right? Leverage the time and the expertise and the skill of someone else. That's perfect. So self-written. We've got financial around managing money, fiction based on fact. Dom says he wrote it himself. Okay, awesome. So let's jump right into this. It seems like everyone can hear my voice as well as see my screen. All right, so how many people are familiar with James Patterson? James Patterson, he's one of the world's most successful authors. He's written 158 novels, 158, okay? And you'll see why I have the words written in quotation marks in just a moment. He puts out about 13 books a year, About 13 books a year. Right, this guy's a workhorse, right? Or so it seems. He sold a staggering 325 million copies globally. All right, 325 million copies sold. That's awesome. Even if he was just getting a buck, right, off of each one, I would still take that. He's had 114 New York Times best-selling novels. 114, right? He holds the New York Times record for the most #1 New York Times bestsellers by a single author, which is also a Guinness World Record. He's made as much as, get this, over 100, right, million in a single year. So over $100 million in just 1 year. He's made over 700 million from his books overall, right? His titles have generated over $2 billion with a B there. But most importantly, he has 23 ghostwriters. So he didn't do all of this on his own. He leveraged, right, the skill and the expertise and, you know, the resources of other individuals. So now, Patterson, who's 69 years old, right, thinks and embraces leveraging the talents of others like a young, hungry author. This is the period where the publishing industry has changed, and thanks to Amazon, it's now creating individuals that are multimillionaires. It's creating individuals who are generating a significant amount of money every single month publishing books. My daughter, 13, she's not 13 now, but when she started, she was 13. Now at 19, she generates about $5,000 a month publishing Kindle books, all right? $5,000 a month publishing Kindle books. So now, this is no longer a time where you can just publish 1, 2, or even 5 books. And I like to tell people to really hone in on that, okay? Because the secret to the sauce is in publishing multiple books. Never stop at just publishing one, especially if you start to see sales, right? So let's jump right into this thing here. Now, my promise to you is to give you all of the information that you need in order to research, write, and publish a series of best-selling Kindle books to generate massive passive income just days from right now. And I want to show you some proof here. This is actually the same system that I used to buy my mom a house. I don't know if you saw that post that I put up a couple of days ago. I think it was, Sean, or not. But ever since I was 13, one of my major goals was to buy my mom a house. Right? Now, my mom has owned several houses before. She's owned 2 of them, to be exact. Her and my dad together. But, you know, as a little boy, I've always had, I used to be sickly as a kid, and my mom was always in the hospital. She would always take care of me. I spent weeks in the hospital at times, in Yale New Haven Hospital in Connecticut, and she was always there, always there. So as a kid, I said, you know what, I want to do something awesome for my mom. Now, 13, I had no idea how I was going to do this. Little did I know that Amazon would have a big part in me being able to fulfill that goal that I set when I was 13, because just last year for her 77th birthday, she just turned 78 actually this past October, but last October for her 77th birthday, I had bought her a house. We actually bought it in September. We presented the keys to her. I let my 2 youngest kids, Tyler and Summer, present the keys to her. It was one of the first times that I ever saw my mom cry. And it wasn't a real cry. It was like a tear that came down. It's like the Denzel Washington thing in Glory. She had like one tear come down. But it was just awesome. I mean, I've done some amazing things in my life, but this was the best ever. All right? And thanks to Amazon, I was able to pay cash for that. So there's a no-no. Now, here's a testimonial that I got from one of my students. This guy, Brian. He says, this month will be my first $5,000 month. I want to thank you for all of your guidance and inspiration. My goal is set on getting to the $10,000 per month level by the first. Here's another testimonial, and I like to throw these in here, right? The ones where people are not doing $5,000, $15,000, $20,000. This is from Tracy Voister, who actually got started with my program, and she sent me this text at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and she says, good morning, Ty. My ebook has sold 5 copies this week. Now, you might be thinking 5 copies, that's nothing to sneeze at, right? Well, she had just gotten started with this program 2 or 3 days prior to sending this text, and she's already selling copies, right? So that just gives you some insight as to how doable this is. Now, here's one of my prior students here as well, Dan DeVry, 66 years old. He's over in Perth, Australia. doing $20,000 a month. He says, Ty, over the last year, I've continued to follow the Kindle cash flow system, and I'm now doing $20,000 per month in sales. All right, so you are at ground level of what is being called a new age diamond mine, and I want to show you some of the money that I've been able to make just playing around with the system before I created a true step-by-step way of doing it. And I say playing around because I've really had shiny object syndrome to like the 10th degree when I first got started with this. Now, this was one of the first checks that I received from Amazon. It was in the amount of $2,297.30. When I first got this, I didn't really pay too much attention to it, not because I was doing extremely well, but like I said before, shiny object syndrome really made me unfocused, so I wasn't as focused as I should have been. It wasn't until 30 days later when, bam, I got another check from Amazon in the amount of $2,873.13. Then when I received this one, it was a 25% increase, and I said to myself, well, maybe there's something to this Amazon publishing. Now, mind you, right, at this time, I still did not publish any additional books prior to this. Once I got this check, I started publishing a few more titles. And then once the next check came in, it was in the amount of $4,462.53. Then I really started to pay attention, all right? I started to publish more titles. I started to split test things like titles, price points, covers, descriptions, right? So just a few different things that I cover in this whole entire program. And then once I started incorporating some of those things into this entire business, I saw another increase, and I went from $4,000 to $8,403.84. Now, as Sean mentioned at the top of the hour here, I consistently see months of $30,000 to $45,000 to $50,000 a month, especially now. You're getting in at the right time because what's happening now? What's coming up? All right, it's the holidays, absolutely. You have people that are getting mobile devices, that are getting Kindle devices and things like that for Christmas and for New Year's and sometimes even for like Thanksgiving, right? So they want to load these devices up with content. Whose content better to load them up with than yours and mine, right? Maybe mine than yours. But so right now, I want to ask you a question. Who would like to have your own digital diamond mine? I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, and when you stay until the end, you'll see a niche that my daughter started publishing to at 13 and grew to 5,000 a month in sales. All right, so as someone said, my name is Ty. I actually first got started with a program that Amazon had and still has to this day called the Amazon Advantage program. This was maybe about, I want to say about 12 years ago. I live in North Carolina now, and I was living in Connecticut when I first got started with this. So would you believe that Amazon has been around for 20 years now? It's insane.
It is. I wish I had stuck in those way back when.
Oh, dude, that, right? Absolutely. So 6 figures with their Advantage program, and because I was doing well with this, now the Advantage program is when you're selling physical books. So I would have physical books published, right, and then I would ship them off to Amazon. You ship off 5, 6 dozen of them, and then Amazon would sell them from their platform the same way they do the Kindle books, right? And because I was doing so well with this, I got invited to be a beta tester for their KDP platform, right? Now known as the king of Amazon Kindle publishing, I've spent years running tests to discover what works and what doesn't, things like price points, topics, covers, how to start and profit fast. I've made millions with Amazon. I've got hundreds of extremely actually this is thousands now. I need to update this. I don't do this presentation often, but because Sean is a good friend, I said I'm going to come in and do this thing. But thousands of extremely successful students across the globe. I've taught this entire system to dozens of 7- and 8-figure online marketing gurus, many of who Sean and I are friends with, and most importantly, I've taught it to my family. All right, and now I'm going to show you exactly how to do the same thing. Now, I don't want you to give me any special credit because when I first got started, I started out working as a clerk at Walgreens Pharmacy, right? No extra special talent here. So if I could do this, you could do it. And just to really throw a disclaimer out there, you most likely will not make thousands and thousands of dollars from the first ebook that you publish, all right? I believe in being 100% transparent, and we're going to be 100% transparent on this presentation. I want you to be transparent with me, and I'll do the same with you in return. So when I first got started, I just wanted to cover a few bills. I wanted to make a couple of $100 a month, $500 or $600 a month, and that was good, right? Now, the other thing that I want you to keep in mind is that this is a long-lasting business model that you can consistently generate income from for many, many years, all right? So now, are you ready to discover the 3 secrets to publishing best-selling Kindle books on Amazon? Secret number 1, I'm going to show you how to come up with a best-selling book idea in 3 minutes, even if you've never done anything like this before. Okay, and then I'm going to show you secret number 2, 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast, even if you dislike writing. All right. Secret number 3, I'm going to show you how to publish and launch your Kindle ebooks quickly and easily so that you can get right to sales, just as Tracy Voister did. 2 days afterwards, she's already making money. Now, secret number 1, how do you come up with a best-selling book idea? And how do you do it in just minutes, even if you've never done anything like this before? So the way I like to do my market research, right? So this is market research here, is to go in and actually find out what people are looking for. Right, so you use the Google Keyword Planner to do this, and here's how you pull that up. So if you go over to Google and you type in Google Keyword Planner, you'll see the first or second result. Click onto it. Now, I'm going to put this out there because people ask me all the time. You do not need to pay for this tool to use it. It's a free tool. All right, you can just go in and sign up with Google. It's as if you'll be signing up for an AdWords account, but again, it's a free tool. You do not need to pay for it. Click onto it. You'll see the control panel that looks a bit like this. They change it up from time to time, but for the most part, it operates the same. You're going to select this drop down here. So this is where you want to start taking notes if you have not already. So this drop down that you see up here, and you want to select search for new keywords using a phrase, website, or category. And then select all locations, all languages, Google and search partners, and then let's hit get ideas. All right. So now, before we hit get ideas, I'm actually jumping ahead of myself. You're going to put in the keyword, the phrase, or the ebook topic that you're considering publishing. All right. So here in this case, I put in the phrase dreams interpretation. All right. I was studying lucid dreaming at this time, and I thought it was pretty cool to maybe go in and publish a book that helped people to interpret their dreams. Right. So we'll hit get ideas, and then once you do that, Google is going to do 2 things. Number 1, it's going to show you similar phrases that people are also searching for. So in this case, right, our phrase that we put in was dreams interpretation, and then phrases that Google said people are also searching for are meaning of dreams, dream meaning, dreams meaning, dream meanings, meanings of dreams, right? So you've got a few different variations, and then they give us the monthly search volume. So for meaning of dreams, we've got 18,100 individuals that are searching for that phrase within the last 30 days. So does that make sense? Give me a yes or yes in the questions box if that makes sense. So far, do you follow me? Now, when you're doing this type of research, here's something that I want you to write down, all right? You want your combined search volume to be between 10,000 to 100,000. Okay, to be between 10,000 and 100,000. Write that down, because that right there, if you can get this combined, the phrases here and their combined search volume to be between these 2 numbers, then as my friends over in the UK like to say, you've hit the honey pot there, or the honey spot, right? So that's the magic number. Now, you might be wondering, why do we want to stay between these numbers? Well, to be honest with you, anything less than 10,000, right, and the marketplace is just not big enough. It's like having a Ferrari on a dead-end street. And then more than 10,000, and then globally, right, the universe starts to get a little bit too big. So I've really tested this for years and years and years, and then anytime I deviate from this, I don't do as well as if I just stuck with the formula. All right, so again, it's a systematic way of doing it. Anytime you use the system, you're going to have a lot more success than if you did not. All right, so and that doesn't matter what you're applying it to. It could be weight loss, right? You use a system that works, and your chances of having success increases big time. So does everyone have this? Can we move on? Because I've got a lot of stuff I want to share with you. Let me see if everyone has it. Give me a big yes here if everyone has it. Actually, yes, they do. Someone was saying Google doesn't allow. Yes, they actually do. I just used it this morning. All right, so everyone's saying yes. Sarah says yes. Vernon, Ken, Bernard, Thomas. All right, Sarah. Awesome. Let's rock and roll. Now, the other reason why you want to use this Google Keyword Planner is to come up with some awesome titles. Your titles are going to be your first line of defense. Write that down. My titles are my first line of defense. And the reason why I say that is because when people actually look for ebooks on Amazon or books in general, the first thing that they pay attention to is the title. So if you get that right, then you've got half the battle won. So my title is my first line of defense. Write that down. So now, if we come back to our Google Keyword Planner, we'll look at some of the phrases that Google has thrown out at us, right? So meaning of dreams. Take a look at that, right? There's 18,000, as we pointed out earlier. Dreams and their meanings, 590. So I would take something like this that's getting searches and use it as my main title and then add a subtitle onto this. So meaning of dreams. And then subtitle, right? So meaning of dreams dash, and I want you to let's do this exercise together. Tell me, how would you add onto this? What type of a subtitle would you add onto it? Meaning of dreams dash, how to decipher last night's dream, right? Or dreams and their meanings dash, what do your dreams really mean? Or meaning of dreams dash, right? When to tell if your dream means big money, right? I mean, we can really get creative with these things. We can get clever. We can get silly with them. Let's throw some out there. Let's see. What do you have here? Let me call out someone here. Esther has something here. She says, meaning of dreams and hidden messages. I like that, Esther. You got it. That's right on point. I really like that. So now, does everyone have this? Give me a big yes. I want to make sure that, see, one of my pet peeves is when I'm watching a webinar and the presenter just glosses over everything and assumes that people get it. So I don't want to do that with you. I want to make sure that you get everything. So when you give me these yeses, that lets me know that I can move on and that everyone has got it, so that no one gets left behind. All right. Dreams at, what does that say, Tim? Tim says dreams at their best. All right. Meaning of dreams, dreams at their best. All right. So that's another one. Awesome. Tim's paying attention as well. So now let's continue. Now, one of the questions that I get is, well, Ty, why do you use the Google Keyword Planner to find titles? Well, the answer is if you craft your titles correctly, you increase the chances of them ranking high within both Amazon and Google's search rankings, okay? If you craft your titles correctly, you increase the chances of them ranking high within both Amazon and Google's search rankings, all right? And ranking on both Amazon and Google will dramatically boost your sales. I want to show you two examples of this, right? Two examples of this. So here's one. Let's say there's a title on Amazon. It's a Kindle book titled How to Market and Sell Your Ebook. How to Market and Sell Your Ebook, right? Now, you've got someone that has this book listed on Amazon, but then you also have someone else who's on Google, right? And they have an ebook of their own, and they're unaware that there's one that was listed that's available on Amazon. Right? So they go over to Google, they type in how to market and sell your ebook. When they hit search, guess what happens? Right? They'll see these listings and they'll also see these. And they know instantly that these are what? What are these here? Those are ads. Absolutely. All right, Sarah, you got it right. Sponsored, says newbie. All right. So now we tend to gloss over the ads, right? So we tend to gloss over these, and then we go directly into we want to see what's more organically listed. So we've got a couple of listings here, and out of these two here, which one stands out the most to you? And there's a few reasons why. So let's see. So some people are saying the Amazon listing, the second one, right? And there's a few reasons why. Why does this Amazon listing really catch, all right, your eye? Let's see who gets it first. Sarah says it's the stars, Amazon stars. There's probably about 6 or 7 reasons why this one really stands out.
And just while you're doing that, I was actually playing with the keyword planner right now. Someone was saying that it's no longer available. It's if you go to, I'll actually post the link.
That's
for
awesome.
everyone real quick. Yeah, just to show you, because I was like, okay, I was using that, and something happened in the last 24 hours I didn't know about. They're using
Yeah.
for AdWords. So it's like, okay, no, that's okay. So there you go. You can use that right now, and you have to have an AdWords account with it. That's the main thing. So you sign up, and you can do all your research from there.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sean. All right, so we've got, so someone, Jeff says the stars in the description. Absolutely, Jeff. So we've got the stars here, right? So this makes it stand out big time. You've got the description, right? So you can read a blurb. If you weren't aware that there's an ebook already on Amazon, you've got this blurb here. You've got the highlighted bold, right? So exactly what you typed in, how to market and sell your ebook. You've got a price as Ken, $4.99. What else? There's a few more things. Reviews, price, in stock, status, says Lisa. Absolutely. So you've got the reviews, 47, right? And not only 47, but there's 47 5-star reviews. Then you have the price, as Lisa also pointed out. The Amazon branding, which builds trust, says Michael, right? We have the actual category that it's available in, right? Computers and internet, and then web marketing. So there's a few reasons why this thing stands out. And that's one of the reasons why you want to use that Google Keyword Planner to help you really craft some awesome titles. And then secondly, excuse me, to get those titles listed in Google. So when you're doing it this way, you increase your chances of ranking a little bit more. Now look at this here. I want to point something out to you. This listing actually comes up not only on the first page, but first page, second position out of 5 million results. Out of 5 million results, all right? And the reason why Google allows these Amazon listings to rank so high is because Google loves fresh content. They love consistent content, right, where it's consistently changing. And who has more new content than Amazon? Almost no one, okay? So now let's move on here. Does that make sense to everyone? I just want to make sure that everyone has that. Give me a big yes real quick. Let's see who's got the yeses coming in first. All right, so nobody, and then Vernon. So now, secret number one was to use the Google Keyword Planner to find hot topics and to create titles. Now, let's jump right into another element that I like to use, which is title enhancers. Now, title enhancers, right, are elements that I started using that actually helped me to double and triple sales. When I first started using these things, I was actually going away on a cruise. We were cruising. I forget where we were going, but I promised my wife that I wasn't going to get on the internet for the entire 7 days that we were gone, right?
So you knew better than that. You knew better than that.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, my wife used to have this joke, right, before, and she used to say the only way to get tired of bed was if I wore a nightie with a laptop on it. So
oh dear, oh dear. I think my wife's right along there. She says, I don't have a strong Wi-Fi signal, but you know, okay, dear me.
So I came up with the title enhancers just before we went on a cruise, right? And when I got back, a week later, I go in, I check my sales, and I noticed that my sales had doubled and tripled in some occasions, right? So I found that these things can dramatically increase sales. Now I'm going to give you a couple of them here. And the reason why title enhancers work so well is because title enhancers answer the questions that your ebook buyers are asking themselves in their head, all right? So for example, how to, all right? So how to is a title enhancer when you combine it with a phrase like stay in your deck like a professional. How to stay in your deck like a professional. Let's say you've got an ebook with this title, and then you have another one of your competitors may have an ebook, and his title simply says learn to stay in your deck. Which of the two, do you think if someone's looking for information on deck staying, which of the two will stand out the most? You've got an ebook titled How to Stay in Your Deck Like a Professional on the left-hand side, and then Learn to Stay in Your Deck on the right-hand side, right? Which of the two tends to stand out the most? If he's asking himself subconsciously, he's not even aware of this. How am I going to get this deck staying? How am I going to get this thing done, right? He sees an ebook with that title, How to Stay in Your Deck Like a Professional. It stands out, right? So does that make sense? Now let me give you a couple of more. And then Tim says how to, and yes, absolutely, you're right. All right, Vernon, you've got that right as well. All right, so now let me give you a few more examples of title enhancers. Quickest way to, right? So 21 quickest ways to make money online versus something like the guide to making money on a web. When I see people fail with ebook publishing, it's usually the title. That's the first starting point that I go to. All right, fastest way to, the fastest way to get your nursing degree versus something like Health Quad's nursing guide. Easy ways to. Quick and easy ways to lose weight. All right. Tips to. The world's best kept tips to losing weight. We always want to learn how to do something, the quickest way to do something, right? Fast, pretty much the same thing. Easy ways to do things. We want tips on how to do things. So if you can incorporate these into your titles, you make it that much easier for your buyer, your prospect, to go in and select your ebook as the one that they want to walk away with, right? So does that make sense really quickly before I jump into this? All right, yes, boom. Okay. Now, let's go. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Now, another thing that I like to do is I like to take my title enhancers and the topic that I'm considering publishing an ebook around and mash them up. So in this case, I'll take the title enhancer, how to, and then the word garden, right? Or it could be how to bicycle, or it could be how to make love, or how to start a business, right? I'll mash them up. We come down here, we hit search, and I want to see who's been paying attention so far. So I'm going to call you out here. And then Google tells us for the phrase that we entered here, how to garden, there were 45.5 million searches conducted last month. Now, is that within our desired search criteria? Yes or no? Is that within our desired search criteria? 45.5 million. Yes, says Tim. No, says Gary. No, says Tim again. Tim changed. He's had a change of heart there. Too big, says Sarah. What else? Who else do we have here? We've got, right, so absolutely, if you said no, you're absolutely right. Right, too many says Ken. 45 million, we want to be between what? What are the numbers that we want to be between? 10,000 and 100,000, right? So now, luckily for us, Google gives us similar phrases that people are searching for. So examples here are how to make a garden. We've got 201,000 individuals. How to design a garden. 550,000. How to build a raised garden bed. 12,000. How to plant a garden. 301,000. Now, out of these four, 1, 2, 3, 4, which of these would make the most ideal ebook? All right. The third one says Tim. Gary says number 3. All right. Number three. Awesome. Okay. So if you said, Bernard says number 1. If you said how to build a raised garden bed, you're absolutely right. And you're absolutely right for more than one reason. Not only is it within our desired search criteria, right, between 10,000 to 100,000 because it's 12,100, but also it has our title enhancer in it, as does all of them, right? But what else? What else stands out about number 3? It's super specific, right? It's extremely niched. So we're not only talking about how to build a garden bed, but we're talking about how to build a raised garden bed. Do you get that? Does everyone see that? So how to build a raised garden bed. Now, do you think if we had 12,000 individuals a month that was typing this in, this phrase, how to build a raised garden bed, right, and we had an ebook on Amazon titled How to Build a Raised Garden Bed, do you think we would be able to make some sales? Yes or no? Absolutely. Vernon puts sales in all caps. Absolutely, says Tim. It'd be super easy. It'd be like taking candy from a baby, right? Not that I condone taking candy from babies, but you know what I mean here. So it would absolutely make sense, right? So now, let's talk about subtitles. Because remember, your titles are going to be your first line of defense, right? So how would we add a subtitle to this? Let's play around with this. Give me some ideas here. All right, how to build a raised garden bed in a weekend, right? Or how to build a raised garden bed on a budget. Or how to build a raised garden bed to grow Japanese tomatoes. Or how to build a raised garden bed, right, for organics, right? Or something like that. Give me a couple of examples. Who's got one here? I can feel someone typing. Ken says how to build a raised garden bed and make it work. Right? Danny says how to build a raised garden bed or the quickest way to raise. All right? How to build a raised garden bed to feed your family nutritious food easily, says Ken. All right? So you folks have it. So let's continue to move on here. Now, secret number 2. Here's 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast, even if you hate writing. Now, these are in my preferred order. I've actually used all 3 of these, and all are very easy to do, even if you're new to this entire concept of Kindle publishing. The first is my favorite, and that is to outsource it. Get someone else to write it for you. Right? This is the option that I use the most, and part of this formula allows me to pay as little as $100 to $125 to have people write the content for me, where you own 100% of the rights to it, and you can resell it as long and as often as you want. The beautiful thing about Kindle publishing is I have books that I published years ago that are still selling and making me money, right? So you publish it once and it continues to make you money over and over and over again. It's a passive income stream. You can even put your name on it or use a pen name if you prefer, right? And in this program, I give you the only 3 sites that I actually condone using when looking to have someone write content. Plus, I give you the exact wording to use when looking for someone, okay? The second option is you can speak it. So you can go in, speak it, especially if you are skilled at something or you have extra special knowledge at something, you can speak it and then have it transcribed, right? So you can use speech recognition software like Dragon Naturally Speaking. Most PCs come with a speech recognition program. You were probably unaware of that, but if you go down to your search button, or if you're like at Windows 10 or whatever and you can find search, you just type in speech recognition. And your Macs as well, right? It's like Siri, so you can do that. The third option is to write it yourself. This is not my favorite, but I have tons of students that write their own ebooks, right? And if you're a writer, this would be the perfect option for you, okay? So I'm just curious, out of the 3, outsourcing, speaking it, or writing it yourself, which option would you choose? Give me a 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. Which?
I know myself with everything I've done, it's always been number 1, and then I've had to go because a lot of the stuff I do is technical, so I have to kind of review it in detail and everything else. But yeah, number 1, definitely for me.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's especially if you're publishing technical stuff, then you can go in and get the framework done, right? You outsource someone to create the framework, and then you go in and you touch it up. So that's awesome. So John says 1 and 2. 1 and 2 says Vernon as well. 3, I love to write, says Lisa. That's awesome, Lisa. Keith says number 2. Ken says 1, Bernard says 3, Tim says 1, Gary 1, Esther 2, Sarah 2. That's cool. So we've got, this is actually across the board. We've got Thomas says 1, Tim says 01. It looks like, I guess he may have hit Q1, Q by accident. So there you go. So now, secret number 3, how to publish and launch your Kindle ebooks quickly and easily so that you start making sales. This literally takes about 5 to 10 minutes to both create your Kindle Publishers account as well as add ebooks to it. Now, Amazon has made this entire process of getting started pretty simple. Why do you think they've made it easy? They made it easy because they want to get as much content as possible, right? The more content and the easier they can make it for you to get started and to sell your content, the better it is for them. Because they get a commission, they get a cut off of it as well. They get a percentage, right? And the beautiful thing about it is you get the lion's share. So you get 70%. And Amazon takes 30%, providing that your ebooks are within a certain price range, okay? So you get 70%, Amazon takes 30%. Now, here's the other reason why Amazon wants as much content as possible. It's to maintain their hold, right, on the publishing industry. Who remembers Amazon's #1 goal when they first got started? We were saying that Amazon's been around for 20 years. So 20 years ago, 2 decades ago, right? What was their #1 aim when they first got started, before they started selling things like supplements and candles and, you know, bottles of water and everything else? It was to become the planet's largest bookstore. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. That was a long time ago. Man, they changed it up, but yeah, that was their entire mission, and they certainly achieved it.
And, you know, along the way, they put a lot of bookstores out of business as well, or at least have taken a good share of their revenue.
A lot of Borders have shut down, and Barnes and Noble have shut down because of it, because people don't need to worry about it.
Absolutely. And they were pretty smart, so they came up with this whole entire system, of allowing just the average individual to make their content available on their platform. They knew that they had the customer base, but they didn't have the content, and that's where we come in. So Amazon says, okay, we open up our doors. We allow anyone who has good content, right? That's the key word there, good content. You don't want to publish PLR or any of that stuff like that, private label rights or any of that stuff. You want to publish unique content. And if you do that, again, you can have a long-term business. You want to do this thing where you're building your business on the concrete, not on the sand, all right? So once you publish, your book is available and ready to make you money on Amazon. Okay, and Amazon has a ton of different ways to help you to generate sales, to help you get visibility, especially once you start to sell more and more of an they turn up the heat a bit more as well. Now, once your book is published, you can actually go in and crank up the sales by doing a few additional things. Repeat the process, number one. All right, publish more ebooks, including sequels. I do well with a lot of sequels. You go in and tweak elements to your existing books, right, to try to test what works to drive up your price points. Things like your, not price points, but your sales, things like your titles, your price points, your descriptions, covers, right? Because you can always go back and change any of this stuff. We're dealing with digital books. It's not like the old days where if you published a physical book, it took you months or even up to a year or more, right, to go in and make changes here. Now, let's review. Here's what we've covered today so far. Secret number one was how to come up with a best-selling book idea in 3 minutes, even if you've never done anything like this before. Secret number two was 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast, even if you hate writing. And then secret number 3 was how to publish and launch your Kindle ebooks quickly and easily so that you can start making sales. All right, so now, is anyone starting to feel excited? I get excited every time I talk about Kindle publishing because there's always something new, right? I'm always testing new things. And then I also get excited by the growth of my students and just to see someone who has never been able to get an online business successfully started to be able to take this system and do well with it. So not only do I get excited because I'm doing well with it, but so are my students, all right? So as you saw here, Brian, his first $5,000 a month, and then we had Tracy Voister with her first 5 copies sold just days after getting this program, and then Darren DeVry, who's over in Perth, Australia, doing $20,000 a month. He actually sent me this on Skype. One thing about me is I like to keep in contact with my students, so as you'll see, we've got a Facebook group. I've got just over 1,100 students that are active in the Facebook group right now, so you'll be able to come in and be part of that entire system. All right, so let me ask you a question here. How many ebooks do you need to comfortably, be okay with what you're doing? So using the system that I've created where we go in and we discuss research plus titles plus descriptions, price points, and outsourcing, all of which I cover in detail in the program. We're limited on time here, so I go into total detail on all of these price points. And where I see on average, you generate about $500 a month in sales per ebook. With that said, how many ebooks do you need? Throw it out there. If you can use that chat box, that'll be awesome. I actually won't call out your name there. I'm just curious to know how many ebooks are people.
I like someone here saying as many as you can, and someone saying 5, 10, 20. I'd love to have 30, 40. Yeah, again, it's all sorts of numbers here. So people are doing the quick numbers here and saying, that would be great. Yeah, they're getting it in their head. So yeah, 5, 10, or 20, churning out $500 a month. That would be awesome.
That's awesome. And Tim, I like that as well. As many as you can. Hey, it makes sense, right? I mean, if you're gonna do it, then you might as well go in and continue to reinvest your profits, right? You take some out, and then you continue to go, all right? You continue to put back into your business. Now, that's the way you do smart business. You reinvest, right? So you do the work once with this system. Your ebook sell for months and years to come. You gain residual income, which pays you over and over and over again. Now, how much money do you need to make a difference in your life? And this is gonna vary for everyone. So is it an extra $500? Like when I first got started many years ago, it was just a couple of $100, right? Is it an extra $1,000 a month, an extra $2,000, an extra $5,000, an extra $20,000? Everyone's different there. So we've got some people that are saying $2,000, $4,000, right? So it's all over the place, right? How could something like this change your life? My wife and I, we have 4 children, and our 2 oldest are in college right now. We're actually we're leaving at 5 in the morning tonight, or tomorrow morning, I should say, to visit my son in Texas. I think I was telling you about this, Sean. He's out in Kilgore, Texas, so we're leaving out to go visit him tomorrow. And this is his 2nd year. But 2 years ago, year and a half ago, we took our entire family over to Thailand, right? We flew over to China, and then from China we flew into Bangkok. and then we stayed there for a week, and then we went to Chiang Mai, we stayed there for a week, and then we went to Phuket. We stayed there for a week, so we got to see the city, right, Bangkok, and then we went to see like more of the rural area, the country area over in Chiang Mai, and then we went into the beachy area, Phuket, and it was just awesome, right, to see my she was 8 at the time, my 10-year-old was 8 at the time 2 years ago, and to see her, you know, to be able to interact with the locals and learn words like Sawadee Kap and Kapum Kap and things like that, right? And to take in the culture. And guess who paid for that, right? Amazon. So it's really awesome. You can do some cool things. Put it towards your kid's future. Use it to pay off your mortgage. Buy a house, as I did for my mom. Buy your dream car, right? Not really into cars much, but if that's your thing, then go ahead. Pay off bills. Get out of debt, right? Travel the globe. We're all over the place. We take at least 5 to 6 vacations a year. We just got back from Cuba 2 months ago. All right. Donate to charities. There's so much that you can do here. The possibilities are endless. All right. So now let me ask you a question here. All right. And we've been totally transparent this entire time, so I want you to be transparent with me as well. For past hour, would you agree it's been time well spent? Would you agree it's been time well spent?
A lot of yeses. That's a room full of yeses right there.
Awesome. Okay, now obviously we can't cover everything you need in a 90-minute presentation and a 1-hour presentation, but what I've done is I've put together a special offer so that you can get everything you need to know. You can get in and you can take this course and fill in all of the blanks, right? Now, if you act fast enough, I'm actually going to give you a very special deal. And when I put this thing together, it's too late for me to change it now on the slides because I've got it in there already. But is it okay if I help you and share what I have here at this price? One thing about putting together prices is never put together your price point at 1 o'clock in the morning when you're lacking sleep, because sometimes you go a little bit too low. All right, so
well, no one's complaining here, and I know I twisted your arm a little bit to cut a very good deal, but yes, I've been there, done that.
All right, awesome. All right, so here you go. Now, I was trying to pack and get everything, you know, like before you're leaving, right, you're trying to get everything done. So, all right, so now one of the things that I also realized is that old habits die hard. Old habits die hard. Sometimes we watch a webinar, we go to a seminar, and we get excited, right, and we see these awesome opportunities, and what happens? We go back home, or the webinar ends, and we go back into our normal routine of things, right? And we go back into our normal routine of habits, and nothing changes. I don't want that to happen for you, all right? You want something different. You have to create a different set of habits, a different set of thought patterns, right? So now, what I've done to help you with that is I've created this program, Kindle Cashflow, and this is not my $20,000 program. I like to throw that out there because people have asked me before, Ty, I can't afford $20,000. I do have a $20,000 program where I go in and set this up for you, and I take 10% plus up to $100,000, right? But this is not that program. This is actually a home study online program that you get instant access to. And you actually get to watch the videos, you get to look over my shoulder, you get to see what I do, why I do it, you'll get that understanding, and then you get to see the results that I get as well. All right, so what you'll get with this program is you'll get the setup, which is a $997 value. I cover setting up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so that you don't get banned. Remember, this is a long-term business model. This is not something that's going to last 3 months, 6 months, a year. This is something that my daughter started when she was 13. She's 19 now. Do the math on that, right? And it's one of the best things ever because she now knows the difference. But when most 16 and 17-year-olds were going to get a job and working for someone else at the pizza place, she's working for herself, publishing books, and she's making more than her peers, right? So now you also get the second module, which is Kindling for Profits, which is a $1,497 value. In this module, I cover finding the right niche and readers, all right? Niches that sell and readers that buy. You'll also get the biomagnet module, which is a $2,997 value. In this module, I cover the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We talk about covers, price points, descriptions, reviews, all right? All the critical elements. You'll also get the KDP Cast Extraction module, which is a $3,500 value. And in this module, I give you the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. Simply because most people that publish to Amazon don't know even a fraction of what I've shared with you here in this presentation. Now imagine everything else that you get in this program. All right, think about that. Now the total value of everything here is $8,991. I've also got a few fast action bonuses for the first 10 people only. Now, here's the thing. This says the first 10 people only. I only want to take 10 people. So that's it. All right, so we've got a good amount of people here. I only want to take 10 people. And the reason why is because my time is just too valuable, and I want serious folks. I don't want tire kickers. So I want people who actually want to see changes. So the first bonus that you're going to get is the Google Kindle Crunch. All right, and this will show you in more detail how to get your ebooks listed in Google. This is actually where 30% of my sales come from. All right, and this is a $2,000 value. So you'll also get this extra bonus module, which is the Money Multiplicity module, right? And in this one, I show you how to take the same content that you're publishing to Amazon and publish it on other platforms as well. You'll also get this special bonus, right, which is your own virtual assistant, which can help you, this individual, which is a live male or female, right? I can't tell you what it's going to be, but he or she can help you with researching topics, coming up with title ideas, writing out descriptions, communicating with your writer, or anything else that you can think of, including working on some of your other businesses. I have my virtual assistants working on everything under the sun, all right? And this actually becomes a cool little game because you think of things that you can start to outsource and have them do for you. How many people have ever read Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Work Week, or like Michael Gerber's E-Myth, where he talks about systems and things like that, right? Now, you're going to get this individual for 40 hours. Again, only the first 10 people. So when you put your order in, here's what I want to do. Because I want to make sure that only 10 people are getting in, when you place your order, I want you to put in the words, "I'm in." So I'll know who came in and what order. So I'll know if Tim came in number 1, Sarah came in number 2. Does that make sense? Right? So now, you'll also get access to our private Facebook group. As I said, there's over 1,100 of my students that are in this group. There's folks that are just starting out like you are. There's folks like Darren DeVry, who's making $20,000. There's folks like Tracy Royster. She's doing about $7,000 a month now. There's other individuals. So you've got people from a wide range. Some that are doing well with this. They've been with my program for a while. And then people who are just coming into it just as you are. So you get to ask questions. So you're never left out in the dark. You get to get updates. I'm always testing, so I share those in this group. You get to share your ideas. You get to brainstorm with your peers. And then most importantly, you get to get help. All right? I think the help is the most important thing, and then the questions and then the updates, right? So now, I had two choices here. The first was to go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible, but as I said, I just want to work with this core group of individuals, all right? The second option, which requires a little higher investment, but in exchange I'm able to devote more resources to guarantee your success, all right, is the one that I went with. Now, if you got to the point where, like my student there in Divine, you're making $20,000 a month, would it make sense to pay $5,000 for something like this? Then, right, after every sale after that month is pure profit, right? Now, you're not going to pay $5,000 for it. This is normally what I charge in that range. But if you're one of the first 10, you're going to get the special discount, and then you're also going to get all of the bonuses that I mentioned. So when I give you this URL, you want to type it in super fast. It's going to be a race to the finish because we've got many more than 10 people on here. Now, with everything that you get coupled with the earnings potential, you can see why this program is a good deal at $5,000, right? And normally, I sell it for $4,997 when I'm speaking from the stage. But because you're watching this event, you can get started right now for just $997 if you are one of the first 10. after that, it goes back to the $4,997. I'm going to put in the URL so that you can get in. And then I also want to take some time to answer questions if you have any as well. So I just put that in. Sean, if you don't mind, can you click that link and tell me if it opens up for you?
Yeah, just double checking. And okay, let's have a look.
So now
there you go.
Perfect, awesome. So we've got several ways that you can pay. You can use your Visa, your MasterCard, your American Express, your Discover. All right. Now you can also use PayPal and get access with no payments or interest for 6 months. Normally I don't include this option, but because again, it's Sean here and I wanted to over deliver, I'm giving you a way of getting in with PayPal as well as the traditional methods, right? Using a traditional standard credit card, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, your Discover cards. Now, if you're using the PayPal credit option, when you get into PayPal, make sure you click this button that says change and then select PayPal credit, all right? So that the funds don't come from your bank account or credit card. You want to use the PayPal credit. That's only if you're using the PayPal credit option, all right? You don't have to worry about that if you're using your regular credit card. Now, here's Darren DeVry. I want to show you the growth that he went through, right, when he first got started with me in this program. He sent me this email. He says, Ty, this has been my best month so far with 258 sales to date with only 3 titles. I'm very happy with that, considering he had went through a bankruptcy and he was still reeling, believe it or not, from the recession. I just wanted to say thank you again. I can see the end of the tunnel finally. So when he sent this in, that day I had sent him a reply email and I asked, could I use his testimonial? Just to show people, right? He sent me a reply back the following day and he says, I'm now up to 336 sales as we speak. So he increased, he sold like an additional 80 copies within that 24-hour period. I'm happy with that. I was hoping for 200 sales this month. I'm now going to try for 1,000 sales a month. Now imagine if he's selling his titles at $9.99, right? That's 10,000 right there. So now he's in Perth, Australia. Recently he sent me this testimonial by Skype where he says he's now doing $20,000 per month. All right, no barriers. You can do this no matter where you are on the planet. I've got students that are in Russia, of all places. I've got a lady there, Mexico, the UK, Canada, Australia, here in the US. What else? Italy. We've got Germany. I actually was speaking out in London last year, and I had one of my students fly from Germany to London to take me out, my wife and I, out to lunch as a way of saying thank you for showing her this system because she's had that much success. And I was, I was pretty pleased by that. I thought that was awesome. Like she actually flew from Germany to London to take me out to lunch because she's been doing so well with this system. I thought that was awesome. All right, now if all this did was finally allow you to generate a consistent hands-free passive income every month, would it be worth it? Yes or no? Would it be worth it? All right. If all this did was give you the kick in the butt to finally get you moving and making money, would it be worth it? This is what it did for me, right? It got me focused. Shiny object syndrome, as I said before, is what I had. Now this got me really focused. Okay. Now, if all this did was to give you 2 to 3 ebooks that each brought in $500 per month to pay a bill or save, would it be worth it? All right. Think about that. All right. Now, if this comes with a 100% risk-free money-back guarantee, not only do I give you a money-back guarantee, but it's for 60 days. So you get 60 days to go in and try that. All right. 60 days. Now, this is the entire program. You can get in at 30dayprofits.com. We've got people that are saying, I'm in. Remember, once you get in, all right, type in the words, I'm in, so I'll know who's in, right? And then, right, where they're coming in at, and in what order. All right, so you'll get the entire program. This is everything that you'll get. All right, all of the modules that are listed out here, a total value of $8,991. And then you'll also get these fast action bonuses. So we've got a few people that are coming in and that are saying I'm in, and the countdown is on. So if you want to get in, we've got Thomas that's in. Thomas, good to have you in. We've got a few other people that are coming in. Thomas, welcome aboard. Right? I'm actually not going to call out all of the names. I just want you to just type in "I'm in" once you're in. Once you've got your order in, all right? You'll get this bonus as well, Money Multiplicity, which will show you how to take the same content that you're publishing on Amazon and then publish it over to other platforms. Okay? You'll also get your virtual assistant. You'll get this individual for 40 hours, and they can help you with setup, they can help you with publishing, they can help you with doing research, anything else that you need them for, they can help you with. All right? So this is an actual $600 value that cost me real money. Right? So you'll actually see a lot of benefit out of that. You'll also get access to our private Facebook group where you get to ask questions, you get to get updates, you get to share ideas, brainstorm, and get help as well. Right? And I'm going to post that URL into the chat box once again. Right? It's 30dayprofits.com. We've got a few more people that are coming in. So if you're sitting on the fence, this is your last chance to go in and get in. Normally, this program sells for $5,000. Right now, the price is slashed down to $997. It's a Black Friday sale before Black Friday here. And if you're one of the first 10, you can join us today. All right? So you'll use your Visa, your MasterCard, your American Express, your Discover. If you are low on funds, you can go in and use the PayPal Buyer Credit option that you'll see on this page. And then choose Change here at Payment Methods. And then select PayPal Credit. All right? And then that'll take you through that entire process. Now, I also had someone asking for a multi-payment option. So if you're looking for a 2-payment plan, all right, you can go over to yourkindlekit.com and make 2 payments of $549, all right, one now and then one 30 days from now, okay, one now for $549 and then one 30 days from now. Now, the other thing is if you want to just make that payment straight out, okay, you can simply go to 30dayprofits.com. And Sean, I know we probably have some questions. Do you want to do a Q&A here in case there's...
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got, and I've just put in that payment plan link there as well. So, okay, a couple of questions here. Is there a standard format for Kindle books and a standard length? What would you kind of be looking at there?
Okay, so as far as format,
yeah.
Let's see here.
But,
so
I mean, I usually go with a 6x9, but I know that's more for...
Oh, page-wise, right. Yep, absolutely. Same thing. So 6x9. I actually give you templates in this program here so that you can follow along with. So you use the templates here, and I actually publish using these templates. It gives me the best amount of success. As far as page count, with my Kindle books, I usually don't like to exceed 50 pages here. So I found that, and Amazon actually... Short and sweet, that's it. Amazon actually has, they've got this Kindle short section now that they've opened up, and they seem to be doing really well. I find that people can get in, they get their fix, they get their read, and it gives them something to do on their lunch break or while they're traveling or while they're at the soccer game with their kids or whatever it might be.
Awesome. Now, how quick from outsourcing can you get your book done? I mean, that seems to be a predominant question I hear a lot.
Absolutely. Okay, so normally it takes about a week. All right, so I find that with my outsourcers that I have here, I can get something back from them in about a week. Right, and for me, that's a little bit. So, me personally, I like to go with about 5 days. Now, what I like to tell people is, once you get an outsourcer that works, continue to give that person work if you could. Work with them consistently.
Yeah, okay, good. Now, there's not that many questions. A lot of people seem to be rocking and rolling. I see someone from Germany asking, will this work internationally as well? So would that work internationally? I mean, there's no barriers or problems there for different markets and different languages?
Not at all. Absolutely. Right now, Amazon has the Kindle Direct Publishing platform available to like 80-something countries. And as I mentioned, as you saw, one of my students, John here is, Darren is from Perth, Australia. I've got students that are in Russia, Mexico, Italy, France, Germany, the UK, Canada, Australia. So literally, I've got students that are in South Africa. You can literally be from anywhere, Ireland, and publish to Amazon. Again, they want as many people as possible publishing good content. All right, so we've got some more people that are saying I'm in as well. Good to have the rest of you folks in. If you're not in already, go in and place your order, 30dayprofits.com, and then let us know once you're in.
Okay, cool. And we got Esther here asking a question. Do you supply the VA, or do we have to find them? I'm sure you've got some places you can recommend. I know you give 40-hour VA for basic formatting and basic project management, but if they wanted to go obviously more, they have to go find reasonable VA from somewhere else, correct?
Absolutely, and I show you exactly. So once you get in now, you're going to get the virtual assistant that can help you with miscellaneous tasks. You're going to get that individual for 40 hours. As far as finding someone to write your content, in this program, I show you where you can go in and outsource ghostwriters.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have to go buy this myself because I need that for one of my current projects as well. Every time I hire a writer, and if I'm not doing it the right way, it turns out to be it turns out to be a disaster. So if you've got a good place to find these people without all the BS, that's a gold mine. That's worth the price just by itself.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I don't really have any other questions here. I mean, we've pretty much answered everything as we go. A lot of people are jumping on board, and we'll rock this up. But any last words there, Ty, or we can move on.
I think, for anyone that's sitting on the fence right now, what you want to do is take a screenshot of this screen here, write down the URLs, 30dayprofits.com or yourkindlekit.com. Any event that you need to talk this over with a spouse, your significant, business partner. But be warned that once we reach the 10 slots, right, it's going to be closed off, and you'll see the higher price point of $4,997 on the order form. So don't delay, get in right now. And this was an awesome group, really awesome group. I appreciate being here, and really fun, entertaining bunch that you have here.
Absolutely. No, we got a lot of smart marketers here. And if you're sitting on the fence, like Ty said, it's a very uncomfortable place to be. You get splinters in your butt. You don't want to do that. Jump one side or the other, and again, there's a few spots left. Most of them have gone, but if you need to jump on board, this is the way to do it. And with the payment plan and the PayPal credit, you have different ways in there without it really affecting your budget. You can rock and roll, get started. I mean, I grabbed this, and I actually learned a lot of different things from Ty many years ago. Like I said, he's been in Kindle King for many years, and actually one of Ty's early trainings on Kindle is still on my shelf, and it has helped me a lot and make a lot of penetration in that market. And this is why I wanted to bring him on. When he said he's doing this, and with what he's doing right now and how it's changed over the years, this is absolutely amazing. It's a great opportunity. And Ty, thank you very much for coming in here, sharing all this with everybody. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's been a blast. It's been an awesome time. All right, folks, have a good one. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.